Hello, my lovely friends, it's Margaret, and it's time to nerd out about Brightly Burning by Alexa Donne. So first off, I actually got to meet Alexa Donne, and she signed my book, and I'm so happy. This was originally going to be done with a library book. I still have it up on my bookshelf, but I went to BookNet Fest, and she was there, and they were selling her book, and she is just as nice in person as she seems on her videos. So she's just fantastic. I will link her channel down below. If you are a writer, you definitely want to be following Alexa because she has all kinds of good craft and industry insight that she is putting out on a regular basis. So, Brightly Burning, what is it about? For those of you that are classic literature buffs, Brightly Burning is a retelling of Jane Eyre in space. Hello. What more do you need to know? Okay, you probably want to know a little bit more. So basically, this is humanity, they've all evacuated to space, or everyone that could has evacuated. Let's say everyone that could, probably everyone who could afford it, has evacuated to space, and they are in an orbit around the Earth. They are just biding their time in orbit around the Earth until the giant ice age is done and it's safe for them to land. And so this is about Stella. She is an engineer on one of the ships called the Stalwart. Stella does not want to be an engineer. She wants to be a teacher. She's in charge of lessons for some of the kids on the Stalwart, and she knows that that's what she wants to do with her life and not necessarily fixing breaking ships continually. She's been applying for different teaching positions, and she finally lands one aboard a ship called the Rochester, tutoring the only child on that ship. And so she ends up going all the way out to the moon to teach this kid, and she finds out that there is some weird stuff going on this spaceship, and it's creepy. This book was, I'm gonna say it's actually my favorite retelling of Jane Eyre that I've read. That's including My Plain Jane, which I really did enjoy. I will have a review for that one as well, but this is probably my favorite retelling just because of how well she did it. It was, even though I knew the story that was supposed to be happening, it was still kind of fresh and exciting, because I never, she doesn't keep everyone's names exactly the same. So you're sitting there going, okay, but who's this person? And what is their story? And how do they fit in? And you're just, there are a few people that it's obvious, but she does such a good job of updating the story that there's still this kind of air of what's gonna happen next in this book. And I really enjoyed that. I really liked how she updated it. I liked how she kind of changed the dynamics just a little bit. There's not quite the age gap that there is in the original, which I enjoyed and liked, because as much as I love the original, the age gaps in some of that Victorian and Regency fic it's concerning just a little bit to me. Personally, I would not want that. She took some of the basic plot points and made them she just raised the stakes. The stakes were raised. She took the original messed up weird tale and she was like, here, I'm gonna dial it up to 10, and holy crap, there was so much going on in this book, and it was in the best way possible. You were literally on the edge of your seat. Speaking of being on the edge of your seat, I felt the breaking spaceship part. I felt uncomfortable when we started talking about these spaceships, despite the fact that I am safe here on Earth, breathing oxygen. I was sitting there going, oh my gosh, what happens if the gravity turns off? What happens if the oxygen stops? What are we gonna do? What about life support is going down? What are we going to do? And I just, it was not a comfortable readings experience at places. Just, I was there, I was in it. I think we can safely say that Margaret will not be going into space anytime soon. I really did like Stella and Hugo's kind of dynamic. It was still that kind of weird, he's keeping things from her dynamic, but there's more, I feel like there's more basis behind him keeping these things from her. It's more justified in this, and I liked that. I liked that fact. But instead of him being super sketchy, he's only just kind of sketchy. And it's an okay kind of sketchy, a forgivable kind of sketchy. I liked the depth that he was given, and the fact that he was more than just this giant hulking kind of mysterious figure. She actually gets to know him a little bit in this. One of the things I really liked is that she had a very realistic, her world building was just really, really tight, and I liked it. You could tell she really liked sci-fi, and that she kind of knew her stuff when she was just devising all these different systems, and they have an entire immigration system to get from ship to ship, and there are social dynamics on each of the ships. You see that especially on the Lady Liberty, which is kind of the America ship. That was really, really interesting to kind of read about, and you see those social dynamics end up playing into some of the plot points. Like, it's not just there for the world building's sake, like you're actually going to see it affect the plot. If I like the original Jane Eyre plot, obviously, I like the plot. Again, she updated it, she made it more interesting, she raised the stakes. I feel like I'm a broken record about this book. It is much more plot driven, I would say, than the original. The original is kind of like very thoughtful and reflective, and it does get a little bit bogged down at times. Not that I minded, because I like pretentious writing that uses more words than the average third grader. But I like reflective writing, what my brother calls talking heads writing. I like that. But this takes away a little bit of that. We do still have a lot of Stella's thought process and a lot of how she goes through things, and we do get to know Stella really well. But it's not quite as like sit and think and mopey as Jane Eyre can get at times. So I did like that. I did feel like she did, even though I would have liked a little more time with the characters, she did keep things moving forward very well, and I appreciated that. And then there's a twist at the end that I'm not going to get into, but I liked it. Because I liked it. The nice thing is we don't have to deal with as much of Stella's tragic past as you have to deal with in Jane Eyre. It just jumps right into the action. No excessive backstory. So if you thought Jane Eyre was boring and you didn't like it, you might like this still. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I just thought it was fantastic. I was so happy that I picked it up, and I've been craving some good sci-fi, and this delivered good sci-fi. So what can you say? That is my review of Brightly Burning by Alexa Donne. If you like romance with a little bit of like sci-fi thrown in, this is the perfect book for you. If you like sci-fi and you are looking for more romance, this is also a good book for you. Like, it just was a perfect mix for me of sci-fi and romance, and I enjoyed it a lot. Like, I just really enjoyed the interplay of the romance plot with the sci-fi setting. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also you can hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I would love to see your lovely face here on a regular basis. Get to know you, talk back and forth. Chat to me in the comments if you have read this book. If you were a fan of Jane Eyre, let me know. I like talking about the books that I've read with people who have also read them or would like to read them. Let me convince you to read it. Go ahead. If you would like more of me on a regular basis, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter. I am at the word nerd, and don't forget, in nerd, that is a 3 instead of the E. That is it for now, my friends. I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye!